first to ensure that it is completed. So it can't be that now the excuse for us is that, no, there's other work. We've always had other work. Other portfolio committees have also suffered because their members are sitting in the ad hoc committee. So I think, like the Chief Whip has said, Honorable Chairperson, we really don't want this process to stretch out any longer than it does. There are options on the table. There are longer hours that we may utilize. We take into account the fatigue that has raised. It's one of the reasons why we were the first to support, for example, a request from the evidence leaders that Advocate Zigalala is brought in and any other support that may be required. And I would really wish to implore, Chairperson, that in your engagement with the Speaker, you make a request for an additional staff component to either support this portfolio committee or alternatively support Justice and the Police Portfolio Committee to ensure that their work is done. So, maybe let me stop there, Chair. I think the Chief Whip has outlined our position properly. Thank you, Chair.
MKP. Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, for me, the issue of rush as Mkhonto Wesizwe Party, I don't think it will help us. Hence, I still believe that this work of an ad hoc committee is a parliamentary work. It's as important as any other committees. I know that some of us, we are members of the police portfolio committee. We sit there, and unfortunately, our chair is with us here, or fortunately, our chair is with us here. But indeed, we need a complete, comprehensive report on what we're doing in the last 6 months. But for us to be in rush because there's other job in Parliament, we are 400 members in Parliament. And I guess others, like the Honorable Sangoni said, we've got alternates as well. But for us to be rushing again, hence I'm saying we have the Justice Committee here, as part of this ad hoc committee with the Police Portfolio Committee and Correctional Service, inverted commas. But we've done nothing about that. I'm still saying it, Check here. I don't want us to be hiding this thing. That we've done nothing when it comes to the judiciary. We've done nothing to the Correctional Service. Now, because of rights, because of these other issues that, other portfolio committees are suffering. So the job which we are doing is incomplete anyway. Whether we finish in June, whether we finish in May or at the end of April, it's immaterial. We have scratched the surface. I'm still insisting on that, Chair here. That as Mkhonto Wesizwe, I'm saying it boldly so. To say we have not completed our job. We have not completed our job. But because we have to finish, because of all these other factors which some members are raising here, we'll finish the job, but it must be known that we are not finished. In my view, out of 100%, we've done 40 to 45%. We still have matters, even in the police, which are outstanding, because we did not agree on other matters. And they came sharply towards the end of the ad hoc committee meetings. Now, it's like we are selective. Some animals are more equal than the others. Some people are untouchable because of time. But if I was a speaker, I will give this core committee another 5 months or 6 months for that matter to finish the job. Because this issue of the judiciary and correctional service, I'm still saying it, Chair, here, that we've done nothing. So in my view, Chair, in closing, I'm saying, whatever the committee decides, Chair, we must know that we have not done justice to our people. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, Honorable Ntuli is already talking about if we don't finish by the end of April or mid-May, then, we can come and ask for another 2 weeks. It's getting embarrassing. Why don't we decide how long we need, realistically? And then ask for that, and then stick to it. It's not to do with we'll have time to waste and people are going to sit at home and do nothing. No one's sitting at home doing nothing. We're all very busy. If anyone's sitting at home doing nothing, I'd like the recipe. We've got elections coming up. We've got a whole lot of things happening. No one's sitting at home doing nothing. There's no days off for members of parliament, and we all know that. But it's very brave for us to say, we can work harder and we can work longer and we can do more hours. We're not the people writing the report. We're not the people preparing for the budget debates and the APPs. Those people are the same people who are writing the report. And they're only 24 hours in a day, and they are only human. So when precisely do we expect them to do all this work? It's not humanly achievable. Nobody wants to get this done more than me. But to expect the staff to be able to produce this report, plus the Justice Committee budget work, plus the Police Committee budget work, plus the APPs, those are the same people. So realistically, how are they supposed to do it? It's not us that are going to do it. I'm happy to work 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. It's not a problem. But I'm not the person writing the report. And if we look at how we debate, Chair, then 3 days for deliberations is woefully insufficient. Woefully. We will not get done. And then we are going to go and ask for another extension. That is a position I would like to avoid. So I do not think that that is achievable. I remain in that position. Thank you, Chair. Not for more witnesses, not for more evidence, to write a proper report, to debate it properly.
The EFF.
Thank you, Chair. So the new dates that Ms. Nicolette presented, it looks like she's only allocated like 3 days for us to sit and review. I do not think, number one, that is even doable. And again, I refer us back to when we did just the terms of reference. So maybe we must go back and see how many days we spent just on the terms of reference. Again, I want to state the EFF position that we are not going to rubber stamp a report from evidence leaders and from the technical team in Parliament. So whatever draft report you give, we are going to go, we're going to dig hard, we're going to come back, and we are going to deliberate. So it's not going to be a rubber stamp report. Also, the issue of saying if there is adverse findings, there is going to be, so it must be a given that there are going to be adverse findings, and that must be catered into with the dates. I agree with Honorable Sangoni about we must get more support staff for the committees, perhaps for police and justice. But I don't know if Parliament is going to release any resources for these committees to continue operating effectively. When we couldn't even get a basic forensic investigator and we couldn't even get a psychologist. We had women breaking down there crying and there was not even an ambulance on standby. So for us to say, Chief Whip of the ANC, Honorable Ntuli, that we must go with the 14th, and then if we are not pushing and it's not looking good, we must go back and ask for another extension. I don't think it's going to work. I think we must just say close it for the end of May, but let's push the dates that we try and conclude by the 14th. But these days already on this new proposal of 3 days for a review, and if there's adverse finding, it's not going to work. But either way, we need an extension. If we want to go back and look clumsy as a committee, which some parties are used to just being clumsy like that, there's nothing we can do. It's fine. I don't think it's a deal breaker in that regard. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mwango. Honorable Vessels.
Yeah, I'm here.
Honorable Souls.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, with regard to, I think first we must be very clear with the statements that MK is making. We cannot celebrate the irresponsible actions on the last day as something productive and efficient. That's number one. And then I agree with the Honorable Breitenbach. We should be considerate around the human resources that we have and the parliamentary calendar. Uh, so I'm for putting in all the time, just as the Honorable Ntuli has said as well, that we need to show commitment to finishing and putting in the time. But to balance that two contributions out is to say, let us show that commitment, but also with consideration of the staff that has to do that. Um, and then, but move for extension, give enough time for the staff to do a draft report, and enough time for us to deliberate